caught me eating that ice cream sandwich. I don't know if anybody's online, but I got about 25 seconds. It is the frequency in use. Very good. This is Paul, K4PEW at the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Those that are watching, I was finishing eating an ice cream sandwich. So, is there any emergency or priority traffic? Okay. Excuse me, I'm eating. If there is any emergency traffic, you can break in at any time. Just preference is to call 911 first. They can respond usually better than we can. For information on this net, you can watch this right now on YouTube. Watch me anyway. On YouTube, just looking up my call K4PEW in the search block, or you can look on under Brain Trusts. That's another thing you can put in the search block. It'll bring me up either way. And also see us on Yahoo. Well, let's go with the website first. 146415.net. 146415.net. Or you can look us up on Yahoo Groups, MJ_SS. It's Mike Juliet _ that's that line that goes underneath. Sierra. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. We meet, as you know, at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday evening. Every Wednesday and Saturday evening at 8 p.m. And all kinds of other times during the week. But not for nets, just for fun. Well, the nets are fun, I hope. Anyway, the purpose of this crazy Simplexton group that is now 5 years old is to support and train ham radio operators to have fun on air, on nets, which we've done, and it's helped us all get better at what we do in the amateur radio hobby, or service, as the FCC calls it, a service. Everybody else seems to call it a hobby, but we all have fun in some way, or we wouldn't be here. Nobody's making any money doing this unless you're one of the retailers. We invite everyone to make start over. Announcements. If you have announcements, let me know. But my big announcement, of course, of the week would be, we have 2 nets coming up on Tuesday, which I give announcements for. One is the Bowling Green net at 7:30 p.m. That's a Simplex net on 146-430. And then the Wilson County Emergency Preparedness net, which is at 8:30 on the same night on the Bowling Green repeater, WLYR. You can look that up. And then next Saturday is the the Vet City Ham Fest, and that's it. I believe it starts at either 8 or 8:30. You can look it up yourself, but that's $6, and it lasts for the day up in Bowling Green. Does anybody else have any other announcements? All righty, I guess not. This is, if anybody's taking notice, this is net number 522, and we're starting tonight from the north. And we'll start taking check-ins from the north of Mount Juliet, north of Lebanon Road. Please come in.
WB0 North 4 TMR J4HMB.
Hold on one second, Ray. Somebody came in right on top of you there. Hold on. That was Mark, who is in. It was good to see you this morning, Mark.
Good to see you, Paul. First time I've ever been first. I don't know. I had to double with, but I think there was somebody out there, because when I let up, I heard him talking. Anyway, it was a good group this morning. Enjoyed it. Always do, and got a decent breakfast. Good company.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, it's fun to be on the air, but it's just as much, getting together, with other like-minded folks for breakfast is always fun. Well, anyway, good to have you in there. There was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. He's in Hermitage. And I think we had Ray up there next. Whiskey. Let's see. I'll think of this in a second. I'll get the correct name. It's General Motors. It's GMR, and I forgot what the second digit is there, right?
KJ4 GMR and KJ4 HMA.
Yeah, I had the last parts right. It was the first ones I had wrong. KJ. Yeah. How you doing, Ray?
Sitting around here trying to get ready to go to California next week.
Oh, is that like vacation?
No. I guess you would consider that a taxi driver in a bank.
Ah, okay. Uh, California is real pretty. What I saw of it. I've been to San Diego once, and I was up in the San Francisco area once, but I don't want to live there.
My wife got me out there and she wanted to make one more trip. I told her I didn't want to go. I said, why don't I just let you blow the money and go yourself? That way you can blow more money because I won't be there.
What part of California are you going to?
I think they're going to start off out there in Orange County. And then there's somewhere else they're going. I can't remember. I don't know why. I'm just along for the ride.
Well, it is a long ride.
We're going to airplane it first, but I am just along for the ride.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I didn't. For some reason, when you said a taxi driver, I thought you meant you were driving.
Well, when we get out there, I am.
Well, it's a big state. I noticed that. I've never driven it, but it's a pretty long state. So I don't know. I don't know how long it is, but it's got to be close to 1,000 miles one end to the other.
Well, I drove from one end to the other. I drove a truck back in the day. They kept me out there. Man, oh man. Whew, it ain't pretty.
Well, parts of the state's very pretty, some of which I've seen pictures of. The mountains are pretty, and the ocean's pretty, and San Francisco's pretty, but that's where it ends.
Well, I never did. I guess it's just me. Enough of the ocean. The ground moves too much.
Well, that's another reason not to live there. Well, very good, Ray. It was good to have you and Zoe in there. I hope when are you leaving?
Saturday morning, 3:00.
Which morning?
Next Saturday morning.
Okay, so I'll be talking to you again, but hope everything goes well on that's a big trip, really, to go out to California.
Like I said, I ain't really looking forward to it.
No, traveling can be a royal pain. I drove up to Long Island here in June, and that was a saga I don't want to repeat. Well, very good. Anyway, that's Ray, Kilo, Juliet 4, Golf, Mike Romeo, and Zoe, Kilo, Juliet 4, Hotel November Victor up in Cottontown. Great signal as always, Ray. Good to have you in there. Who else we got north? Anybody else north? Over to the west then.
Hello, KD4IAL. Oh, I'm on low power.
Okay, I had another station in there, but I had Harold first. How you doing, Harold?
All right. Is that any better? I pumped it up. KD4IAL. We're doing all right. Kind of a lazy day today. Got the truck cleaned up. Went to the store and picked up some windshield washer fluid for the YL, and kind of laying back watching YouTube fiddling this afternoon or this evening.
Yeah, well, it's bad. Where you are and where I am, and most people that are on the net, if you're on 5 watts or 50, I can't tell the difference unless I look at the meter.
Well, I understand. Well, looking at the meter, there was a big difference. I'm pegging it right now. 5 watts, I wasn't.
No, but your audio, I wouldn't have made that distinction. Maybe if I paid close attention, I might have. But like I said, and again, going out almost anywhere in Wilson County, or in Davidson County, or Murfreesboro for that matter. I can't tell the difference with most people on low power.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Well, you could when I was running the HT, but this isn't the HT.
Yeah, I know. I had Richard KI4SIB was the other day. He was testing out some stuff. He had some concerns about it, and he says, and I answered him, and he says, "How'd I sound?" I go, "Well, sounds like you're on an HT, although you're doing about S6." And he didn't correct me because I assumed he was just on a regular HT, but he had his HT connected to his diamond antenna up about 30 or 40 feet. So it was S, because I was wondering, so how the heck can I hear an HT at S6? So, but it really was a big antenna.
Oh yeah, well, that's got a lot to do with it on VHF, definitely, and UHF for that matter. But that and location.
Oh yeah, no, elevation is king, man. You could have an HT at at 5,000 feet. You can talk to Kentucky and Georgia and Alabama.
That's right. I remember back in the day when I was working for the utility company down in Dalton, I could talk all over. I mean, you go up on a hill and you could actually hit Carolinas, but that was on a hill on an HT. Around here, it's not as hilly and it's a little easier to get out a little bit further. But yeah, that was fun.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I feel fortunate, and of course you probably heard it before, but that's one of the reasons when I moved here and moved into this house and that settled and messing with the radio, and I looked at my elevation and I looked at the elevations around me and I said, I really should be doing a simplex net because I'm in a great location.
Oh yeah, that and the antenna you're running is perfect for it too.
Yeah, but I started with a J-pole in the attic like a fool, thinking that was going to be okay.
Oh yeah, you fixed it.
I know, but it is funny that's why I joke about J-poles. Like, why do we all do that? Why? It's like a sickness, All right, when it was Harold, Kilo Delta 4, India Alpha Lima, over on Tampa Road or Tampa Drive. That's what it is. No, Tampa Drive?
Yeah, Tampa Drive at Harding Place.
Yeah, there you go. Tampa Drive. Of course, I told you I live in Tampa, so other variations on that, it gets me confused because there's also another Tampa. It's in Tampa. I think it's in Texas or Oklahoma or somewhere out there. All right, anyway, that was Harold, Kilo Delta 4, India Alpha Lima. Who else we got? West, please come in.
KN4CJF.
Hey, hold on, Rick. I got another station out there, really, really low. I want to turn up the volume a little. All right, let's try that again. There was a station I heard and I didn't catch who it was. Is that KN4 Kilo November 4 F Foxtrot Tango November? Did I hear Zulu Papa November? Okay, I didn't catch the name though. It's a lot of buzz on the signal. If people that are on the YouTube feed can hear it, but say that name again. I believe I heard Dave. Is that correct? Ah, very good. And I'm afraid to ask you where you are because I couldn't hear that either. Very good. I did copy Dixon. Delta India X-ray Oscar November. QSL? Yeah, very good. I didn't catch all that. I'm sure there's somebody else on the net that did, but there's a lot of, I'll just call it buzzing. It almost sounds like power line buzzing, on the air. It sounds really you're about just barely above that level of noise, and it's personally I find it annoying, but I know it's not your fault. Well, very good, Dave. I appreciate you taking the time to check in and having to repeat the information 2 or 3 times. Hope to hear you again. K4PEW. Good, Dave. That was Dave Kilo November 4 Zulu Papa November in Dixon. and decent signal considering the conditions and the distance. Oh, very good. Now I got it. I'm glad you corrected me, Dave. That's Kilo Foxtrot for Zulu Papa November. QSL? All right, very good. We'll catch you later. Again, that was Dave Kilo Foxtrot for Zulu Papa November over in Dixon, Tennessee, and that's it's not like it's far enough away, that's for sure. But yeah, good. It's decent signal considering where it's coming from, but that noise is killing. Well, it's killing the signal. All right, very good. Who else we got? Oh, I heard Rick in there. That was the other one.
Yeah, hello, Paul. Great breakfast this morning.
And well, I didn't cook it.
I know. Well, it was great.
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, it's always good to get together and chew the fat, so to speak, with everybody.
Yeah, it was. Listen, man, I could barely hear Dave myself. I'm only about 20 miles from him, but it was really noisy in there. I'm glad he checked in, though. That was great.
Yeah, that is it. Well, like Dixon is, he must. I'll have to look at his elevation on his location because, like yours, you have an excellent signal. You know, look at audio, etc. So I don't know what the issue is over where he is in Dixon.
Yeah, Roger that. I don't know either. Anyway, like I say, had a good time today, and I'm gonna say hey to everybody on the net.
All right, very good. That was Rick, Kilo November 4 Tango, Juliet Foxtrot. He is in Ashland City, over west of, not too far from Dixon. You say it's about 20 miles, did you say?
Approximately.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm really, well, I'm ignorant about a lot of the territory around here just because I wasn't raised around here and I never worked around here, so I don't get out as much as other people do. So I'm very unfamiliar about what's west of, well, you're kind of northwest of Nashville. No, Dixon is, I don't know, is that 20 miles from you? Let me measure that real quick. He's about, let me look. No, hold on. Yeah, it's about 22, 23 miles or so. Yeah, that Nashville's right between me and him. So I'm guessing Nashville's got all the noise.
Wow, man, just looked it up on Google. My wife says it's 41 miles to Dixon.
So you must have a bigger map because mine says 22.
From Ashland City?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, it could mean she's talking about road miles instead of air miles.
That's exactly right.
All right. You see, you can tell she's not a ham. You know what I'm saying?
Now that she's getting there.
Is she going to get a license?
I don't know about that, but she, I think she knows about as much about it as I do right now from just hearing our dad.
Yeah, I got you. She's a lurker, in other words.
And she's a quick study too. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, not quick enough. She's got you.
Good with Paul.
Well, you guys been together a long time. I appreciate that. And I'm glad sounds like you got a good family on you.
I certainly do. In April, be 25 years.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, well, I was married for 20. Well, I'm not, no allusion to anything about your marriage. I was married for 27 and then got divorced. And my brother said, that's too bad. I go, yeah, I think it's too bad, sure. And he goes, in today's world, 27 years is considered a success.
Hey, man, marriage, it really is.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, really, because I didn't want to get divorced. She just decided she didn't want to be married no more.
I understand. Well, can't make them, so, well, I mean, not legally.
Well, I wouldn't want to be married to me either.
Yeah, I know, that's why I don't say that to my wife. I kind of feel for her some days.
Yeah, I know. Well, women put up with more than we do, I think. I think they really do put up with more, things, silly things, dumb things, stupid things.
Yeah, well, they certainly do seem to put up with more. Right, yeah. I got them winner.
All right, very good. Glad to hear it. That was Rick. He is over in Ashland City. That's Kilo Foxtrot for Zulu. I'm sorry. Kilo November for Tango Juliet Foxtrot. I was looking at the wrong line there. He's in Ashland City. And again, it was Kilo November for Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Good signal out of Ashland City. And who's next? West, please come in.
KM4YRF.
So you've only got a good signal. I'm trying to make your brother look bad.
Is it working?
Oh, no. Well, the signal's working. It certainly is. Nice and clear. You got that 3-element beam pointed in my direction, do you?
I got it pointed right towards your house.
Yeah, well, I've already told you before. You can have the butt of it pointed toward my house. I hear it the same.
I think that's awesome.
You got that. You made that. Maybe you've discovered the dual-ended antenna.
Well, they kind of seem that way.
All right. Well, as I told you, it was full scale. When you pointed toward your brother, and that's almost directly opposite of me.
Well, it's funny because it made a little difference in the receive to me for him, and I think it made a little difference to him too, but not enough to not be able to communicate.
Oh, the big difference was in his reception.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a little noise behind you right now.
Yeah, and he's not even married. Yeah, very good, Mike. It was good to see you today as well. I didn't realize you'd lost that much weight. I guess I wasn't paying. I really don't pay that much attention to the physical stuff. I don't know unless somebody's huge or peculiarly skinny. That's what I noticed. The extremes.
Well, this has been over a period of almost a year.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's a good way to lose it, I guess. I mean, they tell me that if you lose it quickly, it tends not to be good.
Yeah, the doctor said slow and steady wins the race.
That's good. So you feel better at the end of the workday?
Oh yeah. Since I got the stent, I feel better than I felt in a long time. Before the stent, when I'd get home at night and get out of the car, I could barely make it into the house. Now it's just like nothing.
But you had that stent just within the last 90 days or so, didn't you?
May the 27th.
Okay, so it's more like 120 or better days. Okay, but it's recent though, so it's kind of in between all that weight loss.
Yeah, actually, I started the weight loss before that, and then once I had the heart attack, I got real serious about it.
Yeah, those things kind of tend to make you go serious, don't they?
It's like getting a slap in the face.
Yeah, no, it's mine was when and then it wasn't a huge thing, but it was when I quit smoking, and then I gained about close to 88 pounds, went to 300, I weighed about 212. That was when I bent over to tie my shoes, and it hurt my abdomen and my chest because of the pressure I was putting on my organs, I guess, and the heart. I said, man, this has got to stop, man. I can't be. I'm so out of shape, I couldn't even bend over to tie my shoes.
Well, that's the way I was. The heaviest I've ever been was 242, and I had a hard time tying my shoes, and I said, I got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how it takes something so dramatic to make us think twice about what we're going to be doing. Because I had quit smoking because I thought, well, I won't live to retirement, and so what do? I gain 80 pounds.
Yeah, that's the way I did. Whenever I quit smoking, I gained a bunch of weight.
Yeah, but food tastes so good.
Oh yeah, I'm a food lover.
I think the term they use now, you're a foodie.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, really. We got dogs. They're all foodies, man. I'm not trying to compare you or me to a dog, but we're pretty close. Yeah, no. The food I can hear the oven or see it, smell it, and I start salivating like Pavlov's dog. Anyway, that was Michael, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and he is in Belshire with a 3-element beam. If you've seen any changes in the signal, that's why he's got to fix his arrangement with his other vertical antenna. Who else we got, West?
W140.
Hey, Jeff, how are you doing?
just woke up, saw what time it was, but apparently I didn't miss my sector, so here I am.
Nah, you're doing fine. You need one of those. You need to hook up those recliners, because some of those recliners, don't they have a vibrator, vibrating back on it or something?
I guess they do. I don't know. I never been in one. I guess you've seen these type recliners you can sit in that massage, your calves and other, parts. I guess they got the vibration and the motion to them. I sat in one of those one time, but it just, I didn't. I guess I'm just too big for it because it didn't really fit me that well.
Well, in fact, you're a little taller than I am, and I've had that problem like you've had for your whole life. They don't, like those recliners, the standard recliners that you buy them anywhere, they're not big enough for you, I assure you, are they?
No, there's one company that makes a recliner for men like us, for people like us. It's called the Best Chair Company. That's the name of it. And the name of the recliner is called the Beast. And I sat in one. I think they're about $1,000 a piece, maybe a little bit more than that. I sat in one, and the guy at the furniture store said that I was the only person he ever saw that actually filled one of those chairs up. But they're nice. I'd like to have one.
$1,000. Well, ultimately, it's probably worth it. I know that I've got I got a couple of recliners here that my mother and my mother-in-law both had, and I don't even bother sitting in it because I get in it, and it's not that I'm some hugely disproportional person, it's not like, but when I lay down in it, when I kick the chair back, I'm long enough and heavy enough that I put my feet up on the footrest, when I lean back, and the chair tends to want to go back in the other position.
I've had that happen, but this particular chair, I think the basic ones start out about 1,000 and go up from that. And I guess it varies what type of covering you want on them. I did price one with the woodland camouflage. It's about 1,400. But there's quite a few stores around that do carry that brand, and they're nice. I do plan on getting one here pretty soon, but they're nice. You just check them out. It's called the Beast by the Best Chair Company. You'll probably like what you see.
Yeah, but I don't like spending that much money on a chair, but sounds good.
Once you sit in it, you'll see why. Because it's comfort. It's just off the chart in comfort.
I got you. Sounds good. Anyway, that was Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and he's in Madison. Good signal and a good advice. Anybody who needs a really big recliner made for bigger people, the best chair company. And the chair is called, of all things, the Beast. So I guess it just eats you up. All right, very good, Jeff. Glad you could be in there. Who else? West, please come in. All right, we're going to the south then.
W4AWE.
John, I got you, John. Somebody from the south, I think, doubled in on you, but you doing all right? Someday you're going to make it to one of our breakfasts.
Yeah, I literally just walked in the door. It's been sort of a madhouse dealing with round-the-clock construction, but its progress is getting done.
You're putting on a new roof or a replacement roof?
Yeah, 90% of that's already done now. It's just, today I had 2 different subcontractors back to fix things they broke in the process.
Yeah, well, some of that's to be anticipated.
Yeah, it's just a normal part of construction. It's to be expected.
Yeah, wish I could tell you all the things I broke when I fixed when I'm trying to do renovation.
Save here with me.
Well, again, some of the stuff is just unavoidable. You don't know something's there, and you bust it in the process of tearing something else, and you go, I didn't know that was in the wall.
Yeah, accidents happen, and everybody's been cool about making good on it, so it's all fine.
One of my favorites was I was doing a favor for a friend, this woman, years ago, and it needed new hinges on a shower door. And the shower door, is that tempered glass. And so I was trying to be really, really careful of re-drilling some holes for hinges. Well, the bit hit that glass just momentarily, and I had 7 billion pieces of glass on the floor.
Wow, yeah. Sometimes it's the projects where you're doing a favor where you go, like, how did I get into this?
Well, again, it's one of those things, live and learn, you know. It just wasn't, I don't know what I would have done differently. It just cracked me up. It was just a simple project. Then I had to go out and cut and get some plexiglass and, you know, get that replaced. But it just sticks on my mind because it's just one of those stupid little errors of drilling too deep.
Yeah, I've sure done that.
Yeah, very good. So anything big going on in your world?
No, I'm just trying to, just sort of bear down hard on all this stuff, just so I can sort of get back to put some antennas up.
Well, I think the house comes first.
Yeah, because I had some stuff up which I, smartly took down before I turned the roofers loose, and so it's actually better. My next thing is to finish gutters, and then I can start doing the antennas again.
Oh boy, gutters. Yeah, I had new gutters put on a couple of years ago, and I'm glad I didn't do it.
Well, I'm halfway done. I got one half of the house done. Just, in fact, the guy who was just here doing some drywall patching where one of the roofers went through the ceiling. He goes, well, I can do gutters too. And I go, you know what, man? Maybe next week I may have you out here.
That's right. I know. Yeah, I get that too. Somebody will come out and go, who's doing that for us? I already got somebody. Thank you.
But it's like the one bad thing about having tools is you sometimes, like I've done, take on so much stuff. You're going like, wait a minute.
No, you're right. Yeah, you feel guilty for hiring somebody else for something that you can do yourself, but you take on too much.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I'm going like, well, but I'm so close, I might as well just bear down and finish it.
Yeah, I got you. Well, very good, John. I'm glad to have you in there. I'm glad you were able to walk in and catch that portion just at the very end of West Side here. That was John, Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo. He's over in Bellevue, kind of southwest of Nashville a little bit. Who else, South?
AN4 MPV.
AN4 MPV. Terry, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Paul. How about you, man?
I don't know that I couldn't get much better, I don't think. Of course, you'll have to ask my wife. She'll tell you the opposite.
Yeah, I hope your breakfast went okay. I guess it did over there. I woke up probably about the end of it.
Well, I'm sure you needed to sleep more than you needed to drive 45 minutes to go eat a breakfast.
Yeah, I get in so late in the morning. It's pretty tough. Usually feel like crap, but I try to get to one every now and then. Yeah, that's no big deal. I mean, I don't want you to change the time for me. Because I ain't no telling what would be involved in all that. And it's good that you have it at a good time, actually. It's just that I get off work at a bad time. So, no problem there. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And hello to everybody out there on the net. And hope everybody enjoyed the breakfast and stuff today.
Yeah, we had, I think, 10 of us this morning, so it was pretty good. But there were several people that missed it. I mean, obviously, there's lots of people that missed it because I was going to mention, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the net. I looked again today. I think we have 84 people on our Simplex mailing list.
Oh, I know. It's growing by the bundles there and doing a good job. And congratulations on the anniversary this week on that and all there. And it's really a good thing, man. You got going there, and you do a good job there, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I guess I'll be known as the Johnny Carson of the Middle Tennessee airwaves.
Yeah, I think you're already known as that there, Paul.
I guess. I don't know. I never think about it that way. It just came to me just now. It's like a talk show host, but no guests locally. It's all on there. Well, very good, Terry. That was Terry. He's in Murfreesboro, Kilo, November 4. Mike Papa Victor. Good signal as always. I'm sorry you couldn't make the breakfast, but work. You know that work and family come first, but it's not in that order. It's family, then work, then that could be the other way around. And then this silly thing we call radio hobby. All right, well, South, please come.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
All right, Larry, I heard a double in there, so hang on. Whoever that was, a perfect double. It was Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Yeah, I didn't know about your dad being on a battleship. That's cool.
Yeah, and you mentioned Johnny Carson. He was on the same ship.
Oh, I didn't realize. I've forgotten he was on the Pennsylvania. Huh. And it was at the same time as your dad during the Middle War years, huh?
Yeah, they didn't get along.
Well, they couldn't get along. Wasn't wasn't Johnny Carson like from Nebraska or something?
I don't remember, but I can tell you that they got the right.
Oh, that's funny. That's yeah. I think Johnny Carson, aside from his public image, he was a pretty cantankerous guy.
Yeah, but Eddie's one of them. If he had friends, if you picked on them, you're picking on him. And I think that's what Johnny was doing.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, I would. I really. Well, the short story is I started as a group for the ship I served on, and I served on a ship that was built in 1945. And that's when it was built and commissioned, and it went out to, and it got in the final days of World War II in the Pacific. But so I got to meet. I didn't expect it to happen. I knew when the ship was commissioned, but all of a sudden I was meeting 50 or 60 or 70 guys who had served on the ship in World War II. And of course, they were 25, almost 25 years older than me. And so it was fascinating to meet these guys that all served on a ship when it was first commissioned way back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know you had a double, so I'll let you get on with it. KE4SYV.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there. That was Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. He's down in Rockville. Yeah, I was just fascinated to learn. I didn't know. I've been talking to Larry for a while. I didn't realize Dad had served on the USS Pennsylvania, which was a cruiser, or excuse me, a battleship that was damaged in Pearl Harbor while it was sitting in dry dock going through some renovations, and they got it back up to speed, and it served admirably in World War II. And his dad served on that ship. Anyway, who else is next? Who's that double in there?
It's Jim, KE4TY.
Hey, Jim. Somebody mentioned that I heard somebody somewhere, and I can't remember who it was now. It came up about that subtender you served in.
USS Holland?
No, the other one. Wasn't there another one? I can't remember the name. Wasn't there another ship you served on?
I've been on a few of them. I was on the USS Holland, and I took a med on the USS Austin. I don't remember all of them, but those are the two main ones I was on.
Yeah, it must have been another one I was thinking of then, because I was sure that was one of the ship you had served on. Yeah, I didn't realize you'd been on several ships. Was that just due to transport things?
Well, one of them was transport. The first one, the Holland, was a subtender. That was a ship's company. I was on CDB there. You're there for at least 2 years, if not more. So yeah, you're part of ship's company. That's where you live. That's everything.
Well, I don't have to tell you, a subtender, aside from whatever work issues you may have had, was sweet sea duty.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's kind of why I picked it.
Oh, you got to pick it.
Yeah, it was my second enlistment, and you had a choice of a B billet, and one was Marine Security Forces, like a barracks duty, embassy duty, drill field, or sea duty. I decided I went for sea duty, so and they needed NCOs at that time on sea duty, and so I got to pick the ship and basically where I was going to be stationed at. So I picked the USS Holland, which was stationed in Goose Creek, South Carolina. And there was only one sea school at SDA school for the Marine Corps at that time, but that was in San Diego, California. So I got to go out there and complete sea school and then go back to the East Coast for duty. So it was good. I really liked the sea duty.
Yeah, I'll bet. I think I told you when I was given my sheet, the dream sheet is because I didn't re-enlist, so this was my first ship, and they said first time they said, you know, where would you like to go? And I said, what kind of ship and where do you want to be? And so I knew so little, but I put down aircraft carrier out of Naples, Italy, aircraft carrier out of Norfolk, or an aircraft carrier out of Yokosuka, Japan. And so they gave me what I wanted. Ultimately, was that destroyer out of Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah, that was on the top 5 list, wasn't it?
I didn't even know what a destroyer was. I don't think.
Now, we had a choice of, at that time, there was actually a battleship still being commissioned. I think it was the U.S. in New Jersey. But any aircraft carrier or subtender basically was open for us. And I picked the subtender.
Well, you also, I think, as we've talked about before, you also got the opportunity to be on command ships.
Yeah, but they were never, none of them was ported where I wanted to stay at.
Yeah, the Blue Ridge was one of them, but I don't remember the other name. One of the big command ships, you know, with all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like I say, I think most of them were based out of Norfolk, and as far as I could tell, that area didn't really thrill me a whole lot. So, Goose Creek, South Carolina was pretty nice for 4 years.
Well, living in, I stayed. I was around Norfolk a little bit, and living in Norfolk is like living in. It's like living in Navy Town. I mean, it's the biggest naval base in the world, and it's 100% Navy all the time, and it gets old fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had to train up there for a little while during midshipman week, and they had that. The midshipmen got to go and play Marine and do beach landings and assaults and defending and all that stuff. And I must have attacked that beach 3 days a week and defended it the other 3 days. So yeah, I got very intimate with the training area at Little Creek, Virginia, and the sand. It was good though. Don't think I'm saying it wasn't. But a lot of hard work assaulting beaches all the time.
Yeah, that's why I joined the Navy. We didn't do anything.
I don't know. My son, he's presently active duty Navy, and he's on his short duty stint right now. He's got moved from security over to security forces for I think NAPOR or the Naval Air Force, one or the other. But anyways, he's going through training now. I got a video of him that OC spray, I guess they call it. It's supposed to be 100 times hotter than pepper spray. So I got a video of him going through that training. And, you know, I kind of felt sorry for the guy in a way because that looks very painful. All right, I'll let you pick it up and go back to net, pick up a few more check-ins, Paul. And I'll try and get on the air with KE4TYJ back to net control.
Yeah, very good, Jim. Yeah, Jim, you've been a stranger for a while here, and I haven't heard from you much. Yeah, I have actually watched some of those riots in Hong Kong, and they said they were putting out tear gas, and they were, you know, they weren't making a big deal of it. And I thought, you guys have no idea how bad tear gas is. You know, these reporters. Anyway, yeah, I can't imagine a pepper spray that's that strong. That's horrible. All right, very good. That was Jim, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet, and he's in. I keep forgetting the name of that place. Nate, tell me again.
Down here north of Woodbury. Woodbury.
Yeah, you think I remember Woodbury? I don't know why I keep forgetting that stinking name. I'm about to go there and, you know, sit in front of the street sign for a while.
Well, I invited you out anytime you want, willing to come out, and I'll give you the tour.
All right, sounds good. All right, Jim in Woodbury, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. That's because you haven't been on this so long. I forgot it was Woodbury. All right, who else left south of 40? Please come in.
K1SPD.
Hey, here's another stranger. I was thinking about you today. I hadn't heard from you in a while. How you doing, Scott?
Yeah, doing all right. Out of town for a few weeks. I got back earlier this week, but had to take care of a bunch of other things, so couldn't stay up late.
Well, you doing all right though, in spite of that?
Oh, doing wonderful. Really enjoying HS now. I put up a new antenna You know, you rant and rave about your Diamond 700 or whatever. I'm going to have to give Gap a plug. I picked up a Gap mono bander 40 meter, and my goodness, that thing is so nice.
Really? How high is that? And did you put in any radials?
And with 3 radials, and it's ground mounted. It's 36 feet tall, I think.
Huh? And it outperforms what you had before on 40 meter.
Oh gosh, I bet you I got my dipole hooked up and the Gap hooked up, and I switch back and forth just to see the dB gain, and it can be anywhere from I'm picking up a signal wherever, at 5 dB on the dipole. Switch over to the Gap, and now it's a 20.
Really? Huh? Man, it must be I've heard good things about the Gap product.
Yeah, my son bought the 20 meter version of it. We bought these as a set from this fella not far from this house, and I wanted the 40 meter, and he put the 20 meter up and doing pretty good DX with it, even with the conditions.
Yeah, that's great. And you didn't notice any difference in noise levels?
It's really 40 is really wicked noisy right now. I had to bail out of a net just a little while ago because I picked up some turbine that cranks up and runs for about 5 minutes and then quiets back down on 7185. But if you move, it's like 88 or 90. You don't hear it there.
Huh? But I mean, you don't hear any more noticeable noise on the vertical than you do on your dipole.
No, the vertical a little bit quieter. The signals are so much stronger.
Well, I've never had an HF vertical. Every time I see something about that, they'll usually say that, well, a vertical will have more noise just due to the nature of the 360 degrees. And that's why I asked you about it, if you noticed any difference, and you didn't. So obviously in your case, it's not that at all.
I've got a tri-band vertical back there, and it's really quiet, especially on 15 meter, I believe. Yeah, it's a 10, 15, 20 meter. And on 15 meter, there's no noise at all. But I'm going to stick with the Gap from now on if I get another vertical.
Yeah, no, I've always, every time I look at, I've seen, or it's not that often, but I look at the Gap. I think it's the Titan. Isn't that the biggest one they make?
Yeah, the Titan or something like that, I believe. That multi-bander.
Yeah, I look at that and I go, boy, that'd be nice to have.
Well, these are nice. All right, well, I'll let you get back. Well, funny thing is, I put my analyzer on it, and it's flatline on 40 meter, pretty much the whole band. Go to 20 meter, and it's like a 1.3. And so I just kept going. I went to 10 meter, and it wouldn't do anything with 10. Go to 2 meter, and it tunes the business portion of the frequency.
Oh, it's not rated for 2 meter though, is it?
No, it's not. I'm not even going to try it. But the SWR drops down to much of nothing at about 151 to 155.
Well, it sounds like you're having a good experience with it. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I just looked up the Titan. It's only $470, that Titan DX for 75 and 80 meter.
Yeah, this one, the 40 meter mono is either 229 or 249, and the 20 meter was like 129, brand new, and we got the pair of them for 100.
Oh wow! Well, you got a bargain then, and you're happy with it to boot.
Yep, to boot. All right, we'll carry on. We'll get inside that, correct, and the swap.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that at the front end, but yes, we got the buy-sell swap and swindle net immediately following the FM net onto the sideband net at 144.240 upper sideband. All right, good to talk to you, Scott. That was Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta bragging about his 40 meter Gap vertical. It's really working well, and he's very pleased. Who else? South, please come in. Anybody else south?
W1KOL.
Is that W1? What was it? K which?
Whiskey 1 Kilo Oscar Mike.
Oh, very good. How are you doing tonight? I didn't hear the letters properly.
Probably slurred my words. I'm a little tired. I've been working on a tower all day. Put the tower up at my house. I have my antenna now at about like 35, 36 feet. But still have to go a little higher still.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, I think you're quite a few years younger than me, so I'm not climbing no towers, and I don't want to start now.
I just started, so it's a little interesting. I'm getting used to it though.
Well, yeah, I could probably do it just fine. It's just that that's not really the issue. The issue is, do I want to be at my age and weight and size? Do I want to be risking my lack of agility at 70 years old? That I much worse when I was, much worse than when I was 30 or 40.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm a little smaller frame too, so yeah, that's not too bad. I know what you mean though.
Oh yeah, well, I think you might have heard me tell that story. The short story is he decided he'd help out this entity and climb a tower to replace a light on a communications tower for this airport in Florida. And he was way too big. He was very rotund. He was big. I don't know why they even let him do it, but he had a harness. Well, he slipped, and so he's hanging from his harness. He did not have the strength or the agility to get up, so they had to call the fire department and get him off of that thing.
Well, that was thing. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun at all. Yeah, you gotta. It wouldn't wear you out. That's one thing I've noticed. It definitely, if you're not in shape, you'll definitely know it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I'm not saying I don't have. I've been fairly consistent about having strength, in my legs and in my arms and doing stuff. I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but what I'm saying. I have reasonably good strength for somebody who's 70, but it still doesn't mean I'm going to climb no towers.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm sure my experience was not gonna be like a lifetime thing. I'm gonna try to do it or anything. I more or less want to do it for my own tower because I know how I am. Always want to make changes and things.
Oh, exactly. Well, very good, Glenn. Good to have you in there. That's Glenn, Whiskey 1 Kilo Oscar Mike, and he's it's East Nashville, right?
I like Murfreesboro Road, Edge Lake, Anderson Road area, South Nashville.
Oh, that's right, South. I'm sorry. It's just constantly showing my ignorance about the Nashville terrain, and even in Wilson County, I'm not always sure what things are. I'm not always sure anything is. I just don't get out much. Anyway, it was Whiskey 1 Kilo Oscar Mike Glenn in Nashville proper. How's that? Who else we got south or east? No, we're going south. We still got south. All right, Eve, over to the east. Please come down.
WA4ZHI.
Very good. Good to see you this morning, James.
It was nice to see all those people. People I hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, there was a couple of people there that we hadn't seen too often, but yeah, it was good. It's always good. Always fun to get together, and we didn't get our private room this morning, but the tables were private enough.
That's what I was going to say. It was private enough. We didn't get any intruders.
Yeah, we didn't get any complaints either.
Pay that bill.
Yeah, that's right. That place cracks me up because it's like on the honor system. What'd you eat? Nothing. All I had was coffee. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even give you a bill.
No, that's nice.
No, that's all right. I wouldn't expect anybody's going to, screw the restaurant out of a couple of dollars.
People there are real friendly too. I like them.
Oh yeah, no, it's like it's like eating at a friend's house over there. Well, very good, James. Good to have you in there. I hope you're doing well and the family's doing all right. That's Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India right here in Mount Juliet. Who else east of Mount Juliet?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
All right, quiz of the day. Which radio are you on?
I'm on the 1500M.
And is it doing all right?
I found a booger, I think.
Okay, you're not supposed to be putting boogers on those things.
No, I didn't literally put no booger on it, but I found the chink in the armor. I'll put it. There's a connection going into the fuse block on this power wire going on this thing from the power supply that was not all that well put together. And I still haven't resoldered it yet, but just as soon as I find my soldering equipment, that sucker's going to be made as solid as a rock. But that looks like been the culprit.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it was something that simple because having the thing drop out, if you had a bad connection, it certainly would do that.
Well, that's apparently what's been going on. Something about that just was breaking down, and it's working great now. I mean, I'm on full power and everything, rocking right along.
Ah, very good, very good. So it wasn't me that broke it.
No, I'd like to blame it on somebody, but I had to blame it on bad sort of going.
Well, Thursday night's net. I don't know if you were on. I don't remember if you were on there or not. It was that net over there at Wilson County Amateur Radio Club, and I went to check in with Tom, and I said, we talked for a second. He replied to me, and the repeater went dead. I said, man, I broke another one.
And well, that's the 105, 107 machine, is it? That has, I don't know. It has its moments.
You're saying it's like a drunk uncle?
Pretty much. I enjoyed breakfast this morning, seeing everybody, and all went well. I'm happy to was there, and all such as that. And I did hear John in Bellevue. I tried to break into the conversation to see if I could catch him before he got off, but I could hear him and understand what he was saying tonight.
Oh, very good. I don't know. John, are you still out there? Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo? No, he's busy. No, I was going to say hopefully he could hear you, but he's not out there right now.
W4AWE.
Oh, were you able to copy Richard over here in Lebanon?
Tell him to try one more.
Good evening, Mr. John. I'm the fellow that brought the 510 for you, if you can hear me.
I don't think you're copying him there, John.
Well, it's a little choppy. He'll come and go in and out of the noise. When he comes out of it, I have him fine, but it's intermittent.
Well, I've got 3 bars of signal on him, and I'm able to understand what he's saying. It's not a very, very strong signal, but I can understand what he's saying, and that's been on my bucket list was to try and talk to him from here on Simplex.
Well, he's copying you rough, he said, but it's not great.
I understand.
But you got full copy on him?
Well, he's close enough. Yeah, I can understand him.
Ah, very good. Well, progress has been made. The Eagle has almost landed. You're doing fine. Yeah, now you just got to double the height on the antenna. You're being great, Chief.
Well, the apartment, the owner of this organization over here where I live said that he was not going to put any restrictions on my antenna. So, and I did have a fella grace me this morning rather with the usage of a HF rig, and I'm liable. I don't know whether I want to put a dipole up, a center fed or an end fed dipole. I can't make, I don't know which is better actually, but I'm going to try and hook that joker up and play with it.
Well, apparently, are all the apartments full?
Yeah, pretty much, and they stay that way.
No, the reason I ask is I'm just wondering if he was anxious to get an apartment filled and you moved in and said, do anything you like. And then when the apartments get full, say, cut it out.
No, he doesn't mind. Honestly, he's glad I'm doing what I'm doing because he sees the potential in it.
Well, cool. I'm glad to hear it. All righty. Well, that was Richard. Richard over just west of Lebanon. That's Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, resolving apparently a power supply problem because the signal's good today and nothing quit working. So apparently he's on the right track. Who else? East, please come in.
Over.
Hey, where you go? How you doing there, Earl? I was just that pesky. Your signal's much better normally, but tonight it's got that whatever that buzzing noise in that I hear from. I'm hearing it from you, and I heard it from out west, and I heard it a little bit from Richard. It's funny, whatever that is annoying.
Well, I guess ain't nothing like sharing buzz on a Saturday night.
Yeah, this one isn't as much fun though.
Hey, okay. Yeah, just there you go, hanging out. Just I'd say howdy everyone out there in Jeremy. Kick y'all when we can. K4 easy.
Earl, do you catch any of that noise when were you just listening to Richard?
Yeah, I haven't. It must be all on your end over there, Paul. I haven't heard any buzz off anyone out here on the frequency this evening.
I think it's the Russian frequency jammers.
Yeah, or maybe that waterlogged cyber cable they got running underneath me trying to, well, if it ain't one thing, it's something else. You know, they got infrared this and things they don't think we know about out there doing whatever they think we don't know what they're doing.
Now, I think they think our Simplexton is a threat to civilization.
Well, so is population control, but I ain't gonna get into all that.
I got you. Well, very good. That was Earl, Kilo, Echo 4, Delta, Echo Zulu. He's over in Noreen, just east of Cedars 11. And good to hear you in there, Earl. But it's good. Yeah, your audio's fine. I can hear you fine. It's that buzzing noise that I keep hearing. So I don't know what's going on. Anybody else east, please come in.
Before Juliet,
Hey, Eddie, how you doing?
doing fairly well. Had a good time this morning. Very good group get together and had a real good time.
Yeah, it's always good. You know that. You're the one that wanted to do twice a month, and then I brought up 4 times a month, and you didn't seem to reject that idea.
Yeah. Well, that it'll give you four different days in a 30-day period to miss.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I still think that it was good. Like we did that other last month when we did 3 times, or with the opportunity to do 3 times, because we had it was a 5th Saturday in the month, as you remember.
Yeah, it's true. But it worked out good, and got a good group of people. Good chance to meet some good people interested in the same thing,
Well, that's what I mentioned in that. I think it was one of the emails I sent out this week. Is that the one of the successes I say it's a success, but it's a side issue success. It's that success that says, hey, you got to meet a lot of people on the air and in person that you never met before in the ham community, and you develop some new friends. So it's a neat thing about ham radio. You develop new relationship with people that you enjoy being around.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's good to get together and talk about radios and the same interest, especially am I not talking about football.
I haven't watched a full football game in, I can't even remember, 9 years. I watch pieces and I'll watch clips, but I realized some time ago that I said, man, I'd watch a college game on Saturday, then I'd watch 2 or 3 football games on Sunday, then I watch the Monday night football game, and I go, wait a minute, I just blew like 20 hours of my life watching football.
Yeah, you've had 9 years of success.
No, I still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting football down. I can just go to NFL.com and it'll give me the game in the like the condensed version. It takes about 8 minutes to watch it.
Well, that's not too bad, but I still would rather play off radios or do something, just something to learn something by.
Yeah, I know. Well, what I learned watching football is that they're all making more money than I am.
Yeah, you realize that pretty quick.
Yeah, very good. And most of them are felons too. It's an exaggeration, but you know what I'm saying. Well, very good. That was Eddie, Whiskey 4, Echo, Bravo, X-Ray. He was also at the breakfast this morning. I don't think he's ever missed any. And he's over in, where is he? Oh, Gladeville. That's where Eddie is. Anybody else east, please come in.
KT4, my thing.
Hey, missing in action, man. You missed another breakfast. You're almost betting 1,000.
I ain't hit 1,000 yet. Goodness gracious. Well, I better try hard. No, I've been having toothache and, a couple of tooth been hurting and whatnot, so I haven't been doing too much radio, and subsided a little bit tonight, so I figured, I'll turn it on and I knew it was bedtime, so here I am and checking in. What's going on, Mr. Paul?
Well, I don't know. Last couple of days, I've heard people calling out your name, and I don't hear a reply. And I go, man, either Kevin's on vacation, or he's sick, or he's in jail.
Yeah, I'd rather have every one of those instead of this toothache. I'm telling you, man. I got a couple of wisdom teeth back there that I ain't had them pulled or anything, so they're trying to break through my skin or something. Something's happening to them, and they're really hurting, and don't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. But yeah, enough of that. But yeah, just well, hell, if it's important, they probably email me or something. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, so did you get them? Did you just deal with pain relief, or did you just start taking them out?
Yeah, I wish I could take them out. No, I'm dealing with things for now, anyway, until I get the money up and whatnot. I'll get those jokers taken care of. But for the most part, yeah. I was sitting here listening. Richard, you say you got you a HF rig and you need an antenna? Well, maybe not. Yeah, I was sitting here listening. I heard Richard say that he didn't know what kind of antenna we wanted to use, but figure, well, I got one of those infeds that I could loan him there, see if he likes that. But I don't know. Other than that, all hell, man, ain't that much nothing. Trying to stay off my feet and out of my mouth with my fingers.
Well, I don't know, man. I can fix you right up. I got a leather mallet and a chisel and a good pair of pliers.
So you got a good pair.
Yeah, well, I can clean them up a little bit.
A little dirt won't hurt.
Now, I had my wisdom teeth out when I was 17. They gave me a whole bunch of problems, and taking them out was as big a problem as leaving them in. They were It was a horrible event. All four of them gone.
Man, yeah, yeah. Well, I hadn't had none of mine taken out or anything, so I'm dealing with it now.
Well, I'll tell you the quick story. I may have told you before. I don't think so. I went to this dentist who my mother's sister had recommended in another town close to mine, and turns out he's an ex-Marine, you know, and he was kind of a gruff, hard. He was a hard ass. I'll just say the word. And he gives me the injection of the Novocaine in the first tooth, and leaves for a while. He goes, "Okay, I'll come back in a few minutes." And I said. And he comes back, he says, "Is it numb enough for you?" And I go, and I knew it was going to hurt. I don't know why. I just remember saying, "No, it doesn't really feel like it's really enough." And he goes, and he called me a name that I can't repeat on the air. And it had something to do with cats. And he gave me another injection, and I think he did it on purpose. And when he came back after that, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, the whole half of my head was numb.
Ah, there you go. Then you won't complain about being numb again, will you?
I'm not kidding you, man. All the way down the center of my face and all the way back to behind my ear and my jaw and my forehead was completely numb. I'm surprised my brain worked.
There you go. All right. So let me get out of your way. I'm sure you still got some more to check in. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Hey, we're doing that sideband, right?
That's affirmative. We'll see you then, Kevin. That was Kevin, Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zulu. He's over in just west of downtown Button. Who else? Anybody else east? Hey, Jeff, how are you doing tonight? You got that same buzz on your signal. Are you hearing any buzz on your end on any of the people?
Just slightly. I don't know. Slightly.
Okay, no, it's really loud if you hear it on the web. It must be something in my vicinity from certain directions that causes that, because you're never this noisy. You may have a low signal sometimes if you're on an HT or something, but this is really noisy.
Sorry, it's fun in here.
Yeah, well, very good. Good to have you in there, Jeff, and keep up the good work on your net on Tuesday nights. It sounds like it's going pretty good at the moment. That was Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo, Whiskey Charlie, Jeff, and he's over in Lebanon as well. Anybody else east?
Hey, Paul, is there a noise on this one?
No.
I didn't hear a noise on any one of the stations you said, Jeff, either. I didn't hear anything. I don't know. You might want to tighten up your connections back there, see if anything's loose.
You mean the connections in my head?
Yeah, them too.
I don't know. No, your signal's fine, really. And it's only some people that I get that. I don't know what the deal is. It's not, it's not universal, because Mike over in Belshire is fine, and And as I recall, John was fine over there. I think it depends. Whatever it is it varies from the direction.
Terrain.
Yeah, it's the rain. Oh, you said terrain. I got you.
Yeah, terrain. And Kevin's over there frying bacon. He must have his beam pointed to you.
Yeah, are you using the beam, Kevin?
Yeah, it's pointed up towards itself.
Well, Earl said you must have been pointing away from it.
No, it is away from it, but yeah, I hear him though.
Well, Earl, did it sound like he was pointed away from you and had a little bit of hash on it?
Yeah, sounds like he's frying bacon for breakfast in the morning or after late night BLT over there or whatnot, or QRP and what. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, it must be on my end.
Kevin, how was that signal to you?
It's the same. What he just said. It's not. I'm trying to put it in the middle where I don't have to move it around so much. That's what I was doing it, so I didn't have to mess with the vertical stick.
No, I got. But you do well with your vertical.
Yeah, I could probably put on the vertical, but I just didn't feel like messing with that radio. I wanted to, just turn this one on because we're fixing to do side man. Excuse me.
So what you're saying is Earl's not that important to you.
No, it's just not pointed that direction.
Well, very good. Yeah, just messing with you guys. All right, who else? Of course, that was what do we have in? Oh, that was the Kevin and Earl show we had going there with the antenna wars. Anybody else east? Please come in. Any Blake check-ins, north, south, east, or west?
84 OEN west in beautiful Bellshire, and we're lollygaggers tonight. But here we are.
Oh, not yet. We hadn't gotten to the lollygagger. You just got late check-in, so you're doing fine, Mary.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Good to hear you and all the rest of the gang tonight. Hope you're having a good. I hope you enjoy the beautiful days we had this past week. Doesn't look like we'll have another really nice one till next Sunday, but it was nice while it lasted.
Well, it was nice because I don't think it was yesterday morning. It was the day before when it rained. It actually rained here for about 30 minutes, and I felt like Noah.
Yes. It rained here too for maybe an hour yesterday. So it was a nice little shower we needed so badly. All the yards here are just brown and crunchy, and I'm afraid the trees aren't going to be as pretty this year.
I don't know. It's been strange. I have this very large hedge. It's not a very long hedge. It's only about, it's on one side of my yard. The people who lived here before planted this very large hedge, and it's about, I don't know, 7-8 foot tall and very thick. And, I've only had to trim that hedge once this year, in spite of all the rain we had early on in the spring. It's been a strange season because normally I'm out there every 2 or 3 weeks or a month trimming the hedge.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. That's really crazy. Our brother-in-law has a little garden every year, and he said, okay, I'm bringing some tomatoes, but, just to let you know, we had lots of rain when I planted them, and now we haven't had rain in so long that they're just little tiny tomatoes.
Well, he doesn't own a hose?
Yeah, but he lives down here by us in Bellshire, and his garden is up at his old house up in Jolton, so he doesn't go there like every day.
Okay, so he's got he can't get out there to rain. It's not worth the trip to water just for that.
Right. Well, good to hear you, Paul, and thanks for the videos. They were absolutely awesome.
Oh, yeah, very good. I'm going to actually, she's actually, even now, I noticed it yesterday, and the last week I've noticed it. She's gotten more agile due to the loss of weight. She actually went, my wife took her to the vet, and she's lost 7 pounds since she went into the witness protection program before we got her. And I don't know how much she's lost here, but you can tell her activity level going up and down the stairs is now she's more like an athlete than she was before.
I think it's awesome. You're doing her such a good deal, and no wonder she's feeling so much better.
Well, it's one of those deals. She was way too much weight, and it really hindered her ability to, you know, I still have to pick her up to put her up on the sofa. She can, her legs are too short to jump, and since I'm almost always with her, or my wife is, I told my wife, said we got to drag out those stairs if we're going to keep doing this, you know. But anyway, no, it's a thrill to watch her get better and feel more comfortable and being able to move around like a dog should.
No, and you probably added some years, or a year or two or three, or however many to her life. So she understands that too. I think they're very grateful.
Oh yeah, she's funny. When she'll climb up on the sofa when I get her up on the thing, she on the sofa, and she'll come over and she'll start, she's getting friendly enough and loving enough that she reach over with her snout and raise up my arm looking for attention.
I love that. That's what that just does to me. Look at me, mommy. I need some petting.
Yeah, it's great. Well, you know that they feel comfortable with you when they come over and they rest their chin on your lap or whatever. It's always fun to see.
It is. Well, I'm going to pass the mic over to Mr. Marty here, and you all have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you later.
All right, very good, Mary. Marty, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Went and had a Chinese dinner tonight.
Ah, very good. Which restaurant was that?
China Cottage.
Oh, I don't know that one. Where is that located near Belshire?
Near Rivergate.
Oh, no, I've been up in Rivergate, but I don't remember that one. Is it pretty good compared to others?
Yep, pretty good.
My standing understanding of Chinese food, which I don't know anything about Chinese food really, even though I've been to Hong Kong, that doesn't qualify me for anything. But I think they all buy their food. They have to buy it from the same place. It's got to be, because how many, nobody's growing bamboo shoots around here, are they?
Let me see.
Yeah, I know it. All that stuff is specialty stuff, a lot of those things. And you just have to believe that they're all buying it from the same suppliers, more than one maybe in Middle Tennessee. I just get a kick out of that because I love Chinese food. I happen to like coconut shrimp is one of my favorites.
Hey, I said it. You can see it's in a strip mall.
Okay, I'll have to look that up next time we're up in that vicinity. Well, good to have you in there, Marty and Mary. That was Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo. That was Marty and his better half, Mary. Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November, both in Belshire. And good to have you in there. And we missed you Wednesday night, but it's always good to have you. Anybody else late check-ins? Please come down. All right, the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. I'm going to go there because I don't know. So are there any lurkers, lollygaggers, SDR donglers, scanner listeners, preppers, or end-time survivors? All right, good. We got nothing. We're moving over to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle. Anybody got anything to buy? No, they were selling, I should say. Anybody got anything they're selling? Anything they want to buy?
Some relief.
Some relief from the heat?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. It's terrible. You know what's nice, though, is the nights are great. The nights have gotten really nice.
Yeah, but work it don't never lit up. You got to do it a little bit too in the daylight time.
Oh, I know. Your work demands it. The highest amount of work you have is during the day, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but at night you can get called out.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can. All right, we have anybody else before we move on to the one for the upper sideband? Anybody else about buy, sell, swap, or swindle? Giving it away, junking it. Please come in. Got nothing. We're going to move over to the sideband net and move right now. We had 23 check-ins, and another night I forgot to send out the reminders, so we might have had more if I sent out a reminder. So good to have you all in there. Love the fact that people want to get in here. Sorry some of these things take so long. It's been an hour and 19 minutes so far. So let me jump over to the sideband net and we'll go from there. K4PEW closing the 2 meter side of the FM net. All righty. I still hear some. I hear some noise on sideband tonight. That same kind of buzzing noise from my end. But anyway, this is K4PW to Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on the 144.240 upper sideband. We'll start from the same place we started this on the earlier one. We start from the north. Who's up north? Anybody west?
AM4, Laura.
All right, you almost blew my ears off. I forgot to turn the volume down. 991 is loud, man.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, really. I don't know if you can hear it on the YouTube or not, but it's really. I've got to turn that thing down again. All right, very good. That was Michael up there in Belshire. Who else we got? North or west?
W4AW8.
Hey, John, good to have you in there. Who else we got? North or west? Anybody west? Anybody south? Anybody from the south at all? I don't know whether. Are you off frequency a bit there, Terry? I hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. Can you hear me now? K4MPV.
Yeah, were you off frequency? Was that the deal?
Yeah, I was trying to tune in here. Just didn't make it.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. I heard you in there. Your signal's fine being on frequency. Anybody else south? East, please come down.
KG4, am I right?
Ah, very good. You could work me with a coat hanger, man.
Probably. You're loud over here. Hey, Mike, I hear you sounding really good over here.
Mike, you still copying Kevin? Yeah.
I am, Paul.
Oh, okay, very good. I figured you would. We got anybody else, north, south, east, or west that hasn't checked in already? Ah, very good. Got Earl in there. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere on the sideband portion of the net on 240, 144, 240?
Hey, Mike, that FT991 sounds great. Yeah, I was just a little late coming in there, Paul. I forgot what frequency that you were on.
Oh, I got you. John, Mike, you heard John talking, didn't you? KM4 wire. He's over there kissing that 991. That's what's wrong, John.
Hey, I just heard it on the YouTube feed, and you're right, it was loud.
Yeah, it was loud, wasn't it? Really loud. No, your signal's good, and John was just telling about how good the radio sounds.
So I'll tell you one thing, I love this radio, I really do.
Yeah, no, it's a nice radio. Very nice. I was inclined to buy it, but I had to do repairs on my other radio, so I said, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Well, at least we kept it in the family.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I'd much rather do it in the group here or somebody locally that can make good use of it. And because so often, I don't know how often it happens. There's a lot of people who do jump into radio and they buy a big bad radio and it's got a lot of features and they use it on one thing. And that isn't what should happen. All right, very good. Anybody else checking in? And we'll get out of this popsicle stand here. We got anybody else, any place, anywhere for the upper sideband 144, 240. All righty, we're done. That was, of course, me in there in Mount Juliet, and we got Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot in Belshire. We've got John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo in Bellevue. We got Kilo Mike 4 Mike Papa Victor. That's Terry. He's in Murfreesboro. And Kilo Golf 4 Mike India Zulu over in Lebanon. And Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu Earl over in Noreen. So good to have everybody in there. It's about average for us on 6. I think we had 9 the other day, but last week. But either way is good. Whoever shows up is good. Have a good night, everybody. And I'm closing the net. K4P.